So back to one of our earlier stories, pro-Palestinian activists are today protesting in several major cities across the country. It's in response to the ongoing Israel war in Gaza, which has displaced the vast majority of the population from their homes and also left civilians facing acute shortages of food, water and other basic services. So let's get an update as well. Reporter Khayelihle Khumalo is joining us live from Constitutional Hill in Braamfontein, following Vanessa Puna, who was obviously in Cape Town. So Kaya, good afternoon. At this point, talk to us about the location, why Constitutional Hill, and what is transpiring on your end in solidarity.
Well, that's right, Liesel. So this is where the gathering point is, where the pro-Palestinian activists are really outside here, the Constitutional Court, where they are making a very clear message to Israel not to continue with that ground offensive towards Rafah. As you know, it's a last refuge. And of course, the humanitarian crisis continues. But let's hear from one of the coordinators here from BDS, Roshan Dadu. So once again, Roshan, thank you so much indeed for your time. A very big day because you're talking about humanity, and we know that Israel has indicated that they will continue with that operation in Rafah. What's your message to Israel?
Well, we're joining hundreds of people around the country today, and in fact millions of people around the world, to make it clear that we're demanding a ceasefire now. We're standing in support of our government's case at the International Court of Justice. We're standing here outside the Constitutional Court to remind people of our apartheid struggle, of the way we relied on the international community for support for boycotts, divestments and sanctions. And we want to call for sanctions against the genocidal Israeli state. As you say, they are continuing to bomb, they're continuing to assassinate journalists, to assassinate human rights defenders from the Palestinian Al-Haq human rights organization. And so we're making it clear to the world that South Africa and South Africans won't stand for it. And we're demanding a ceasefire now.
A ceasefire now, and we saw South Africa before the International Court of Justice saying that it's about time the world court step in, especially given all these atrocities that continue to happen in that part of the world. Are you encouraged that, well, at some point we can see the ICJ really stepping up its efforts in making sure that the Palestinians are protected in this regard?
Absolutely. I mean, international law is just one weapon, but really it depends on people power. People like us all over the world standing up and demanding from our governments, demanding from the international system, the United Nations, that they really take action and they sanction Israel for refusing to abide by the provisional measures that the court clearly ruled for in the case that South Africa has taken. But we will keep protesting, we will keep being out on the streets, and we will keep making the world aware that as South Africans who suffered from apartheid, we understand the suffering, 75 years of occupation and apartheid in Palestine, and we will keep coming out in numbers to show the world that South Africa will not allow apartheid anywhere.
Before I let you go, Roshan, take us through to today's program. What can you expect? Obviously, I mean, this is being held in so many cities, but what's going to happen at Concord?
Well, I think we wanted to make the point about our apartheid history and our struggle against apartheid, and to demonstrate to the Palestinian people that it is possible. We know that with the help of the international community, we can defeat the genocidal Israeli state.
All right, thank you so much indeed. Roshan Dadu there, Lisa, really talking about this particular demonstration near the Constitutional Court. And it comes at a very critical time also, where we've seen those sessions before the International Court of Justice, where so many countries have just been calling for the end of what is seen as the illegal occupation of the Palestinian territories by Israel. And of course, what has been used by Israel throughout this conflict is that this is part of their self-defense. They've vowed to decimate and obliterate Hamas's military capabilities. But we're going to be stationed here throughout the day, Liesel, to make sure that you get all the latest from here. With that, back to you in studio.
Thanks, Kaya. We'll continue to monitor developments on that front. Of course, pro-Palestinian marches happening all around the country. We're crisscrossing and bringing the latest as it unfolds.